Hello, greetings. This is Gilles. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to thank my subscriber for following those videos and all the new subscribers. I hope that more and more people will join this process, this golden age movement, this path of ascension. That the call of the heart, that is to respond to the call of your own heart, to liberate yourself and find this freedom. And so we can move together, creating already within our mind, to envision and move within this light, this world that will be perfect for all. For the old paradigms will continue to unfold, and all the chaos will continue to go on. But as a spirit, as an ascended master, when we are groomed to become ascended master, we are called to elevate above all the chaos and confusion of this physical world. And of course, there is uptime and downtime. For even if there is fears and doubts that come up, it is part of the process. Do not judge yourself. Just allow yourself the time to bring you back to the center, to the harmony, use the breath, to utilize the breath to go back to the center. For for what we seek is the middle way. There is a great humanist philosopher named Confucius who already, even the 6th century BC, was already explaining that, to find the middle ground, the middle way, in between the dark and the light, between good and evil, in between things, to use the flow that is in between, where there is no contrast, there is just a flow. And it will take practice, but as we practice, we become more adept at it. For in the higher plane, there is no fear, there is no darkness, there is no shadows. Yet down here, we are always confronted with various aspects of polarity and duality. But we want to find this more integrated polarity that. Where we find this comfort in this balanced energy. There is another master named Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching. He explains that if he said that if I didn't have a physical body, there could be nothing that could plague me. Everything is in resistance. The Master of Wisdom taught, also explained, everything in the physical world exists because of a state of resistance. So it is a challenge to flow and not be in resistance while being in a physical body. So I understand there is great meaning and value in all the work that you do in order to assist the earth and the universe to achieve this state of balance, for we are all one and connected on the core. And so we don't always see the ins and outs of our action, but all the personal work that we do is assisting the whole of humanity. And the most important work to do is to find this inner peace, to find this inner state of balance. And for that, it is far more important to find this inner peace than to discover and reveal the plans of the darks. The plan of the dark is there is some crimes against humanity that are so dark, and so sometimes we feel humanity should know, but they will be aware of that and they will eliminate it in due time. But it's far more important to find this inner peace than to be confronting all these darker scenarios. And for that, forgiveness, once you forgive those darker, the darker elements of energetic elements of the planet, then you find yourself freedom, and you are protected. You are protected, and you move into a timeline that is free. It's quite challenging to forgive all those beings for all those. There are many crimes, but it is not. As in the Bible, it says the judgment is mine, for God knows all beings, and if there is a need for judgment, God will definitely take care of the evolution and education of all souls. So it's about trusting more, and so once we forgive and we achieve that state of forgiveness, we are free from the darkness. It will disappear from our consciousness. So it is a very important aspect of the ascension process. I recommend you listen to my. I've only translated 5 chapters. There is only 13 chapters. It's a small book, but it's the first introduction and first chapter is in the comment box below. So listen to all 5 chapters and let me know what you think. There is a lot of. I've been completing the French version. There's little details that I've changed and improved upon before it's going to be published. But it's very. I'm reading it. I see this. It's what humanity needs to know for the next 200 years. Everything is there. For there is a lot of wisdom that comes from old texts and philosophy and masters and religious text. There is an incorporation but of many aspects of wisdom, but there is also new ideas that are very important to understand in this shifting time. So I recommend you listen to this book. It's the 5 first chapter, for that is what is available at this point, but I hope you find it interesting. And so I'm going to pull a few cards to see for today what the guidance for the situation is nothing short of liberation. It may not appear as yet physically manifested, this liberation, but it is at hand. And all those who are sincere and have been doing some inner works, who are considering of the respect of ourselves and the respect of the free will and the highest good of all, will be liberated. What comes around this situation is well-being, for there is new level of well-being and integration that is coming. What we see before us is hesitation. It may be doubts. It may be a situation where we are not fully determined yet. We still have to deal with the little aspect of ego, the lower mind that is confronting this higher soul, this higher light. And so, but the way to go about it is trust. The more we trust, the faster we'll go. To trust our soul, to trust your soul, your spirit. Trust whatever wisdom comes to you as well. Listen to all of life. Within all of life, there will be darker information and there will be light information to discern and bring in, accept this, that life is communicating with you. What you call life, God, the Creator, is communicating with us all the time. Huh? What we have in our distant past, in the subconscious, is courage. We have had the courage to face our shadows, and now we are clearing up. Where we are now is friendship. For friendship is essential. It is part of. It is really to discover new friends, to find old friends, and to connect with develop new friendships. For what we're coming through this process of developing this new friendship, this connection, we're going to find this complementarity. We're like a puzzle in the great. We are a piece within the puzzle of creation, and everything would have to fit together at the end. Our strength within the situation is recomfort. We're finding ways, looking for ways to find recomfort. So we can always letting go of the mind. When we can let go of the mind, we tune into the angels. Or the higher spirits, and they will find a way to communicate with us aspect of consciousness or aspect of the future that will bring us into the state of comfort. What comes to us from the outside world is wealth, material and spiritual wealth, for we want to move into this state of abundance. What we have in our inner emotion, our hopes and fear, is doubts. It's very in alignment with this hesitation. For that is a dead center. We have to make a decision. We have to make up our mind. And once we confront our doubts, we realize we have a mission here. We have a mission to accomplish. And the outcome is a learning process. It's apprentissage. It's a learning process. We're going through this learning process. It's like we're like children that are going. There's far more than life is. The earth and life is far more than just a school. For we're experiencing the whole of life. We're experiencing. We have this experience of this mysterious thing that we call life, with all this complexity. But we're learning. We have to accept to learn, to forget, to forget what we learned yesterday in order to learn something new today. To empty the glass in order to be filled. For if we keep our glass completely full with old knowledge, the life cannot show us or teach us. So it's about when life fills your cup, drink the cup, and then it becomes empty, and life can fill it again. For it's about becoming more aware, more aligned with our own with our own path and destiny, and our mission on this planet. The paintings behind me, for my art, is I'm going to soon return to the full-time dedication to my artistic and cultural projects. And here it is a painting from 2008. It's an interior with two paintings, and this painting is the two stars. And here it's quite a mysterious painting. It looks like the Earth on the background, but there's like galaxies floating around it. So it's like it's symbolic. I think for some time even paintings are mysterious to me. It is almost like there is all those invisible ships, the starships of higher galactic energies that are orbiting the Earth all the time, and it's. Or it could be symbolistic of other things. For the paintings, we will only talk to us, will express different things to different people. That's what abstract art reveals. This is creating an emotion. I'm not really a big fan of abstract art. I feel it's like a lot of decoration mostly. But some artists that are supposedly abstract are not that are actually expressing something that is deeper beyond the form. And this painting is much older. It's from 1998, I believe. It took me quite a number of years to paint it. It's part of a celestial. It's a symbolic painting that is the symbolization of Satanian. It's a system of world with a Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the central world. And this it is a central celestial administration. It's part of the constellation of Vedantia within the Nebadon, the dark cloud of Nebadon, the dark universe, the dark matter universe of Nebadon. It's our local universe. And there is 619 spots, that is the blue spots, which represent each of the planets that are part of this system of administration. Our planet number is number 606. It's 606. It's represented here. It's called Urantia. And the central world, which is Jerusalem, as we ascend, we'll be able to graduate from each of those. First, we'll move on to the Morantia, the world of Morantia, and we'll move on to the 6 worlds here, and then we'll move into the central planet. So, and then we will traverse all of those planets to eventually graduate on Jerusalem. And then once we graduate, we'll go into the celestial sphere of the constellation, the universe, the minor sector, major sector, super universe, and then eventually we'll go into the central universe and become paradise citizen eventually. So it's part of the Paradise Ascension plan that's revealed in the Urantia book. And so there is the central planet is called Jerusalem. It's about 100 times bigger than the Earth, but there is a little less gravity. It's a celestial world. It's a beautiful world. As it increases in frequency, it gets the celestial world becomes bigger and bigger. But even those worlds are already of the paradisical nature. They are celestial. They are called architectural sphere. They are eternal. They are invisible in space, and they are eternal, and they are administration sphere. And so this sphere is about 100 times bigger, and there is 7 spheres that are about 10 times bigger than the Earth. And each of the planets, and there are 7 spheres on each of the 7 satellites. There are sub-satellites that are about the size of the Earth. And so there is the Morantia world, the world of the angels, the world of the super angels, the worlds of the sons, the worlds of the spirit, the worlds of the father, and the worlds of the finalitas. It's a very sick painting, so it's quite nice. I like it, and it's part of a greater series of paintings, series of world that are celestial administration. For the universe is far more organized than what we think. We think we're just a little planet lost in the galaxy, but everything is organized from within, and we'll come to discover that in time. So I'm going to finish with a song. It's a song I sang the original song in French. There was a French song that was. Paul Anka wrote some English words, and it's very famous. It's a very famous song. It's called My Way. It goes like this. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and so it's through without exemption. I've planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I hit it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me, I did it my way. For what is a man, what has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Sorry, my throat is a little congested. Well, a beautiful song, it's about facing the final curtain. For we know that we came here, we came from the light, we descended here to have an experience, but at the end of the process we have no choice but to return to the light. We have to let go. For people do not let go of their physical incarnation, can become a ghost for a time. So accept that this is only a transition. Enjoy every moment of that process and continue to connect to your soul and spirit, which are the eternal part of ourselves, which is the center of that process. For the card of the day is the 3 of Raphael. It's a kind of celebration, of intimacy, to rejoice. It says you have so many reasons to celebrate and party. A community of friends. Good news in relationship to a relationship or children. So here it's 3 mermaids and this beautiful boat. It's about celebration and adventure. Well, I hope you're ready for this, for those wonderful miracles that are ahead. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Namaste.